Jadurani Mataji, here we have a beautiful book, the Krishna Art book. Would you like to say a little bit about the paintings that you've painted in this book?
Sure. This is a painting I did in 1985 of the world beyond this one, in Vaikuntha, the place where there's no anxiety. And this is Lord Vishnu, the four-handed expansion of Krishna. And these are the four Kumaras, great saintly sages in the forms of little boys, so they took the form of little boys so they wouldn't have any material desires, entanglements. And they met the Lord and became... This is a painting that I also did in the 80s of a great sage named Markandeya Rishi, who was chanting Hare Krishna and being seduced by many beautiful flying damsels, but he remained solid in his meditation because of the protection of the holy name. And this one we did in the 70s. This is a picture of Krishna, and in her womb there's a very pure devotee who Krishna is coming to visit, and his name is Sukadeva Goswami, and he recited all the Vedas. And from him we learn about Vedic culture. This one, speaking about ours being contemporary art, I got the original idea from a Doors album cover, you know, the rock and roll Doors album. They had the infinity sign, so I used it to show the cycle of birth and death in one body. When the person dies, they go into they can go anywhere, in any planet, any universe. And so here's the cycle coming out like this, and it goes on. And this shows the 8,400,000 species of life, and there's so much symbology. So sometimes we painted pictures of Krishna's pastimes, which, as you said before, were windows to the spiritual world. And sometimes we painted philosophical points, which aren't in themselves real, like the person walking through the air. Like if we show a picture of Krishna flying through the air, it really happened. But this is just allegorical or symbolic to make a philosophical point, to speak a truth, but the picture isn't the truth. This didn't really happen.
I understand.
Like Pablo Picasso, he said that art is a lie to tell the truth. Like if you draw a brown line, it's just a brown line, it's not a tree, but it tells the truth of a tree that doesn't have any branches. But I think that only Krishna conscious art or Vedic art is a lie that tells the truth. Other art is a lie that tells illusions, but this is a lie that tells the truth. This one I did in 1971 for one of Prabhupada's books, and this is Krishna speaking all the Vedas. You say that you want to present Vedic culture. Here's where it originally came from. It came from Krishna's flute playing into the ears of the first created being, Brahma. And from his mouths and from his intelligence, he originally wrote all the Vedas in the beginning of time, billions of years ago, and that's how it all began. And Prabhupada criticized me in this painting for painting Krishna's hair very long. He told me that, unfortunately it was after I did this painting, not before, that Krishna's hair should only be up to his shoulders, and it should be behind his ears. So we learned about the truth of Godhead in the guise of learning painting from Prabhupada. This is a painting that I did in the 70s to illustrate the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very deep scripture which shows us Krishna's pastimes and glories of himself and his incarnations. In this particular painting, this painting illustrates a special mantra that takes the invisible form of armor to protect the person who chants it. And mantra means mind, and tra means what delivers. So one who says this mantra, the mind becomes free from all disturbances, and his body also becomes protected. So in the mantra are the different names of Krishna's incarnations represented here, with Krishna's 8-armed incarnation riding on his special spiritual bird carrier, Garuda. And this is Lord Indra, who is the person who makes the rain. We learn in Vedic culture that all universal functions are controlled by controllers, just like you're controlling the camera, Bill. And it's not that this is automatically happening, this show in somebody's house or some hall, but it's because you're the cameraman that it's happening. So because some intelligent person is making it rain, it rains. So Indra is getting this mantra to protect him in a war that he's about to enter. And if anyone chants this special mantra, then he's freed from all difficulties. This picture is very famous, picture of Lord Nrsingadev, which if you could, we could get a zoom in of your chest, your shirt is the same Lord Nrsingadev. And many shirts and posters and stickers and everything were inspired by this painting. This is a painting of Lord Nrsingadev, the half lion, half man incarnation of Krishna, who came to protect his 5-year-old devotee Prahlada. Prahlad's only fault was that he was a devotee of the Lord and singing about his glories, and his father, Hiranyakashipu, was an atheist who kept trying to kill his son by throwing him in the blizzard, throwing him in a pot of boiling oil, so many horrible things, throwing him at the feet of an elephant. But the Lord kept saving him. So finally the Lord, when he directly tried to kill his son, the Lord appeared out of a pillar and killed his father, but he gave his father the liberation that great devotees desire. So this shows that even if one is killed by the Lord, he gets benediction, what to speak of if he becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. This is a painting I did in 1976, also under Prabhupada's direction. We would get letters from him answering any question that we had. What did this look like? What did the elephant look like? And he answered everything in detail so that we could paint these pictures, which were otherwise outside of our realm of understanding, consciousness, and vision. And this particular painting presented some difficulties because we had to make an elephant look like he was disappearing and turning into a form of Lord Vishnu, a pure devotee who got the form of Lord Vishnu. And so we did that by making it somewhat transparent. And we had to show the Lord using his ultimate weapon, the Sudarshan Chakra, to kill an alligator who was trying to kill this elephant. And the alligator, when his head was cut off, also turned into a demigod, because both of these personalities were cursed to become these animals. And the Lord actually liberated them. It's very difficult to understand the workings of the Lord, how he's working on our lives. But by reading these books, the Ancient Vedic Scriptures, everything becomes clear, just like transparent water. And the pictures, Prabhupada always encouraged us with the pictures and said that the pictures make the story more clear. And then he quoted the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a picture also for the Srimad Bhagavatam. And just looking at it now, I'm realizing how merciful Prabhupada was to us, to use us as instruments, and to the whole world to show everybody what's really happening. That is, the sun isn't just a fiery ball, but there's a sun god, and there's a moon god, and there are other presiding deities over each planet that make the planet work. And there's one planet that causes solar or lunar eclipses, and this is the Rahu planet. And this is the story of how that Rahu planet came into existence. He was previously a demon, and he was killed by the Lord, and then his head turned into the planet. And it sounds very wonderful, but we learn from Prabhupada's lectures and his books, his translations, that the versions of the scientists that they give us are really very flimsy in comparison to the histories given us in the Bhagavatam. Like the earth is floating because of the law of gravity, but who made that law? They can't say. So who made that law is the same person who made this planet by killing this one demon. So we're very, very fortunate to have gotten the real truths behind everything. And above and beyond that, Prabhupada and all pure devotees are teaching us, and the scriptures, Vedic scriptures, are teaching us how we can have a loving relationship with the cause of all causes who made everything happen. And this is a painting I did, which is also pretty famous now. It's used everywhere on t-shirts and all that. This is a painting of Lord Vishnu in the causal ocean, the ocean of cause. From this ocean, all the universes are manifested. And he's surrounded by a 1,000-headed serpent named Ananta, who holds all the planets on his heads. Very, more than supernatural. This is the inconceivable workings of God. If God doesn't have some inconceivable things, Prabhupada explains, then how can he be God if he's not inconceivable? So that inconceivable person, by the mercy of the pure devotee and the Vedic scriptures, he can use ordinary persons like us to manifest himself by his mercy. This is a very nice story about Hanuman. I think many people know the story of the Ramayana, the story of Lord Ram. And this is his great monkey devotee, Hanuman, who risked his life to save Ram's queen, Sita.